man. Oh, boy. How we doing, everybody? How are we doing in the chat? Let me know. Do we sound good? Because I want to get into this race because there is a lot. The quest for 100 ends for JRM. You got the Hill controversy, which is definitely not a controversy, that's for sure. You got, of course, it's Indianapolis. So, okay, we're good. We're good. All right. Man, holy crap. So first off, we're gonna talk about the race, and then we're gonna talk about the big stuff. Like we're gonna get all that stuff done. All right. But I want to know in the chat what you thought out of 10 of this race. Full race. Take away the Hill stuff with Almirola, take away the JRM stuff. Full race. What'd you think of that? Out of 10. 10 being the best one you ever saw, 1 being the worst. I'll be honest, this race to me reminded me of last year, except there was, the Hill incident and a more popular winner. I personally think the racing itself wasn't really anything to write home about, again, for the total race, but the moments, again, were very, very high. So let's see what you guys are saying in here. And damn, you guys there's a lot of y'all. So I see a 6, I see an 8. 10.88, 9. I'm just like scrolling through and hitting anybody that the mouse cursor lands on. Get as many of y'all as possible in here. Of course, yes, Zilich won. I'm glad Grover Cleveland is happy. I'm telling you what, I'm seeing people. Where's it at? I'm seeing people already getting upset. Getting upset about, oh, you're glazing him. Oh, get off of him. No, man. Kid's good. Now, don't get me wrong. Today was more drafting than anything. Why Riley Herbst won last year. But credit has to be where it's due. It's his 6th career Xfinity win. The kid now is tied with a litany of different drivers. Brandon Jones, how about that? Brandon Jones, his whole career. But others, 6 Xfinity wins, same as Jeff Bodine, Chase Elliott, Rob Moroso, Regan Smith, Scott Wimmer, all guys that were pretty decent in the Xfinity Series. 5th win of the year too. And I'll wait for him to whenever they get the points on there. But credit where it's due, man. Credit where it's due. Let's go through the finishing order of this race before we get into a bunch of other stuff. Because again, I would honestly say the first 2 stages were nothing really to write home about. And again, the final stage really picked up the action. Thank you, Enzo. This shirt I got, I think when I was like 14. I found a bunch of old shirts of mine, and I'm finding out that I can fit in them like muscle shirts, but I might as well still wear them. That, and I need to have the sleeves higher so I can get rid of my farmer's tan more. See? Yeah, it doesn't show up on camera, thank God. But let's get through the finishing order of this race. Connor Zilich with the win, of course, as we talked about. 19 laps led, won by about 3.5 tenths. This race being 100 laps, the 2025 Pennzoil 250, 6 cautions for 29 laps, 2 hours, 22 minutes, 58 seconds. The runtime, 10 lead changes. He wins over Sam Mayer, who led 32 laps and had the fastest lap today, won stage 1, but after a bad pit stop, bad restart, never was able to regain the lead after leading wire to wire in the first stage. Another strong run by those Haas cars in Indianapolis. Taylor Gray with a 3rd place run. Kyle Larson 4th. Ryan Sieg with the top 5. He's just keeping himself alive in that fight. Double checking on the stage side of it. He didn't get any stage points today, but neither did the competition. So I believe that's a net gain for him on Jeb Burton of 10 points. Which I would have to double check heading in here. But when it came to the cut line, I believe he was minus 30, so minus 20 now. Good run for that 39 team. William Sawalich continues the late season or second half of the season resurgence or I guess surgence, finishing 6th. Sammy Smith in 7th. Danny Dye in 8th. Michael Waltrip is somewhere being just unabashedly happy about that one. Jesse Love and Dean Thompson, the top 10. Savannah Bananas come home in 11th with Matty D. Then you got, which by the way, he looks more like the man in the yellow hat from Curious George in that getup he had than anything I would associate with baseball. Jeremy Clements, 12th. Eckes 13th after an eventful day. Retzlaff 14th and Jeb Burton 15th. Kyle Sieg 16th. Sheldon Creed with that damage falls back to 17th at the end of this race. Harrison Burton in the 18th spot, finishing 3 spots behind his cousin, which means I believe the gap for them is 10. From there, you got Josh Balicki 19th, Brennan Poole in 20th, Ellis, Williams, Alfredo, Massey, Smithley, Honeyman, Blaine Perkins, Joey Gase, David Starr, and Carson Quapple, the top 30. Last one in the lead lap is Dawson Cram in 31st. Then 3 laps down for Brandon Jones, 4 laps down for Nick Sanchez, 6 laps down for Austin Hill. The rest out of the race are Eric Almirola in 35th. We'll talk about Hill and Almirola in a little bit. For sure. Allgaier with the 36th place run out. Catherine Legg 37th, and Logan Bearden is last. Let's start. Again, the first 2 stages are for me pretty much a write-off. It was Mayer basically wire to wire, a slide for Harrison Burton, and then Allgaier and Zilich having a close finish. I don't know about y'all, but okay, it's back to normal. The CW was all yellow. But really the last 34 laps, we get into the final stage. I mean, this, I take the notes, right? I take notes during these races. This was stages 1 and 2. This was the final stage. It was crashes, 3 wide battles sort of in the middle of the pack. There was rain that came in at different points, both with 34 and 20 to go. We had a red flag for more rain with around 10 to go. So that was an issue too. A big turning point though about the finish. We'll talk again. I want to talk about the race because again, I don't think there were really as many points as a lot of people might say they were. But a big turning point for this race and opening the door for contenders was when Kyle Larson got into the 7. And there was a wreck caused there. With that, I'm looking at it and he just pushed up into the 7 and it cost him the 20. It cost him track position. They're showing the replay here. It cost the 7 his race, caused Jones pretty much his race too. And on the replay, you're seeing he just slides right up on into him. Just not a good move. Right. It happens to anyone, but it's just when it's for the win, everyone can see it. It's hard not to be a little critical, especially when it's somebody of Kyle Larson's caliber. But he's probably very happy. Somewhat happy, at least with Austin Hill for getting the heat off of his back. I know, and I'm already seeing there's the duality of Larson fans and conversation. Best driver in the world, by the way, and Larson is his own worst enemy. There is again the duality of Kyle Larson. It is always interesting. I'll say that. But they didn't call the caution until 10 to go. Let's talk about it. And we'll put the finishing order there. Whenever they get the points, we'll put those on the bottom too. Let's. I think they're actually about to. Usually when they show this shot, they're put the points up. Come on, there we go. Hey, how about that? I was actually right. How about that? So, sorry, I get that I do these on-air production meetings after, but I want to make sure we're good to go. Hot diggity dog, man. I was actually right on the money with that. So we'll put those on the bottom in a little bit, but let's talk about the main issue of the day. We have the poll up right now. Well over, let's see, it's loading on my end. Well over 600. I don't know the exact number of votes. I think it's 554 right now, 94-6 saying it was intentional. Let's look at it because I actually put it in here. Let's look at the Austin Hill, Eric Almirola deal. We got a normal speed, and then we got about half speed so we can watch. So coming through 3 and 4, 19 gets into the 21, gets him loose, and you see him save it down into the 19. bang, bang. I know a lot of people might not be like, oh, I don't know, but watch the gloves of the 21 here. So he saves it. And I got to say, hell of a freaking save. And then he just hooks it right down into the 19. Right. I mean, we can watch it again. Watch it one more time. Full speed again. Just watch the gloves in the 21, those white gloves. Advice from someone who's not a driver: if you're going to crash someone, don't have white gloves on. Just look at Carl Edwards back in 2010 when we all knew it. I mean, look, amazing save. And then he Austin Hills it. And then he just attempts murder. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to like fancy the other side of the argument. I know it's easy to just slam dunk on Austin Hill. I know everyone calls him the big bully. I know everybody likes to just pile on because he's been an ass before. And there's been times I've defended him. Right. And so for anyone who comes in here is like, oh, there goes Jared jumping on the bandwagon. No. This is not me jumping on the bandwagon. This is me staying consistent because I hate this shit. I hate this. I hate when, I mean, rewatch this. We're going to keep playing it, right? Because this should not go the hell away, right? Watch. Again, I've said amazing save. Look where the 19 hits. No safer barrier. No safer barrier. And it doesn't look any better in slow-mo, right? It doesn't. It looks honestly worse in slow-mo. Right up into the outside wall. And well, okay, so I didn't get it there. All right, that's my mess up. Sorry, man. I mean, it looked like what Bubba did with Kyle Larson, right? It looked like what Chase Elliott did to Denny Hamlin. And let's be honest, Austin Hill has pulled this shit before. He has pulled this before. Yeah, I'm right with you. No SMT needed. None at all. Right? I mean, that is as blatant as it can possibly be. I mean, even if you have black gloves that blended in, right? You look at that car and the direction it goes, because I do think it was, I see people, that wasn't a good save. No, it was a good save. You call spade a spade. Let's be honest here. Let's have some integrity with it. Like it was a pretty decent save. 19 got into him. And you know what? Like, I get being pissed. Eric Almirola's been an ass to people, right? And if there's anyone who probably doesn't get sympathy in the Xfinity Series, I mean, look how he raced Alex Bowman. Look how he's raced other people, and the dumb block he threw on Allgaier in this race too, near the start. Let's be honest. Like, he is probably the person in this series outside of Austin Hill that we get the least amount of sympathy in this situation. But I don't want anyone right rear hooked, right? Don't want anyone. I see people like, oh, you're talking about other things. No, like what? Just be completely honest on it, and so, I wrote a ton of things because I wanted to get my thoughts in the moment put on paper so I would remember them right now. And I said after it happened, once we saw the replays, once we saw it, and I get the radio, he's like, I didn't right rear hook him, NASCAR. Don't do this. Like, shut up. Like, shut the hell up. We all saw it. It's on national television. I guarantee well over 1 million people saw that. Knowing how good Xfinity's done this year, we all know what you did. All right. So don't play innocent. I know they have to, so it doesn't seem intentional, but like, come on, man. The intentional nature of that was right there. Right. So I wrote a bunch of stuff down just so I remember. So there's a safer barrier part. Hill has done this before. He spun people out under caution. He's intentionally crashed people on the backstretch. Remember that race at Charlotte a year or two ago or whatever it was? Totally done that before. He's raced like an ass before. And at this point, it's a pattern, right? I know people are like, oh, 50-point penalty, do what they did to Gregson. I think it was a couple years ago at Road America. I was there for that one. I didn't think that was enough personally, or do what they did to Austin Cindric. But NASCAR has shown they judge this off of a couple things. One is intentionality, which I'm pretty sure is fucking blatant, right? But the other part is speed, where it's at in the track. For better or worse, NASCAR judges these incidents off of the result. And the result of this incident was the 19 car going up into an area of the wall that had no safer barrier at all. A hard-ass hit, up into that wall. Didn't need to happen. High speed, speedway, 2.5 mile. I mean, this has all of the ratings of a suspension. And if you remember the new rule, suspensions will give you basically a wipe away of your playoff eligibility. So look at the bottom line, watch the playoffs as they go, right? But just remember that while he has 3 wins, attempted murder is a crime. like let's call it as it is, man. Attempted murder is a crime. I'm glad so many of y'all saw me in there when, I had said I like scorched earth. We're going scorched earth, right? And so Eric Almirola brought up another good point. Do you remember Martinsville, the absolute farce that race was? And I think a great turning point, I think, in a lot of the cleanliness of the racing, if that's the right way to put it, or the, little bit cleaning up of the racing, a black eye in the season, but they've gotten much better since then. I'm glad he brought this up. I'm so glad he brought this up. That Hill said he wanted to be the role model, and he got up on the stage like, we got to do better. Right. It's like those, it's like when you go on Twitter and you have all of those accounts that are like, we need to love people and be more accepting. And then somebody like that they disagree with's there. And the entire thing's like, I hate you and I hope you up and die. Like that is Austin Hill's level of hypocrisy with this. And everyone, from what it sounded like, laughed at him. Dale Jr. even made jokes at his expense. Like, if anyone to talk about like clean racing and respectfulness, it is not Austin Hill. I wish that Eric Almirola had done outside of that was go and try and fight him, because I actually think that he's proven he's a scrapper. We all know the deal that pretty much was confirmed happened between him and Bubba. Like, the guy wants to fight. Like, let him fight. It's like that scene in Godzilla. Like, let them fight. Let Almirola and Hill fight. Right. And then I saved the quote, right? Because everyone's brought it up and I wanted to save it, man. I wanted to save it. Just so that after all of that, right? After all of the BS, NASCAR, an old school penalty. I remember them pulling this when I was a kid to different drivers. Robbie Gordon got it. I believe Gillen got it at one point. Montoya's had it. This is an old school move by them. And you haven't seen it since the early Brian France era as much, especially after boys have at it. But on the 21 radio, they say, yeah, NASCAR is going to penalize you 5 laps for reckless driving. I think in the moment, right call. No, not right call. I think they should have parked his ass. I think they should have parked his ass. To which Austin Hill says, and if the kiddies are watching right now and have sensitive ears, maybe mute or turn away for a minute. As I quote him. Austin Hill, they can go fuck themselves. Fuck NASCAR. That's fucking bullshit. Okay. I don't know how long he's, watched races outside of being in them, but I specifically remember this young kid named Kyle Busch cussing up at NASCAR, middle finger at the officials, doing the same damn thing. It doesn't work out well for you. Really doesn't. While attempted murder is still a crime, the right to remain silent is also there, Austin. In your best interest, shut the hell up. Shut up. I mean, like, Austin Hill gave a perfect masterclass in about 10 minutes of every single thing not to do in your situation, right? Get pissed at another driver. What should you do in this situation? Should you A, let them buy and get them later? B, hit them in the door? C, cuss them out on the radio like Ryan Blaney always does? And we always joke about Ryan Blaney like, oh, all bark, no bite. Well, he isn't suspended. Or D, right rear hook the guy into an area with no safer barrier. Austin Hill got a D. Really, he got an F, but he chose option D. Okay. After that, what should we do? Should we, when we get the penalty, should we A, accept it gracefully? B, bite your tongue? C, maybe have a snide comment but not say too much? Or D, cuss at the sanctioning body who is penalizing you after you're basically begging them not to, because you could possibly lose your playoff eligibility with 6 races to go? I know the option F, as in F you NASCAR, F the FF. Like every single thing Austin Hill did in that moment was wrong. And I have to admit, I was entertained with all of it. I think it's dumb as hell. I completely disagree with every single thing he did. I can't lie, man. I'm really entertained. It's funny. It is funny watching somebody not be able to get out of their own way. So to clear it up, what I want with Austin Hill this week, suspend him a week. Take his playoff eligibility away. Ty Dillon in that car, because I think Ty Dillon would be decent enough in that car. Or Austin, or whoever. I don't care. Hell, put Kyle Busch down there, right? He needs a win. Get Kyle Busch in there. I don't care who it is. Austin Hill should be suspended next week. Should be stripped of playoff eligibility. Now, I think like points-wise, he'd still be in and all that stuff. So it's not really going to make that much of a deal. But still, to send a message across, to take all of his playoff points away, maybe even penalize him playoff points on top of that. Like, it's just, once again, it's an RCR car. It's another RCR car. It was Austin last year around this time. Now it's another Austin. I guarantee Pop is going to be like, my driver did nothing wrong. Like, no, Richard, he did a lot wrong. Hey, that's my take on it. I told you I'd go scorched earth. I went 15 minutes basically ripping him a new asshole. Let's talk about the end of the race. All right. And I know everyone's going to click out like, all right, I got my rant for the day done. Y'all been missing me ranting, right? All right, here you go. Man. It's just so stupid. That was so stupid. Fuck, man. Oh, God. I'm going to need some pancakes after this. And maybe some Tylenol. I can't. I know there's nothing more to say, but it's so fucking stupid. Should I like put an asterisk next to his spot and points just to be a dick? Yeah. Let's talk about the end of the race here. So after we get past the hill traversy, we have a restart with 4 to go. And like I said, I personally don't like this package. I personally did not like the majority of this race. I personally wish they would just have the normal Xfinity Series package. But I cannot deny the end of that race was really fun. The last 4 laps of this race were fun. Some of the restarts especially were fun, which is pretty much what it's designed to do. The draft part was a fun part. We get 88-54. The 54 gets pushed past by Sam Mayer, just about as I believe it was Sam Mayer. Might have been actually Creed. Or I think it was Creed. Either way, it was a Haas car. It was a Haas lockout in row 2, so I believe it was Creed. And it's the 88, and in second to the 54, 41 right there. And it's basically a 4-car battle. The 54 leading the 88, 41, and the 17. They pull away for a bit. We do get side by side twice in this run. First off, out of 2, Zilich gets underneath the 54, and Mayer, now I know it is Mayer, goes with the 54, pushes him past, almost clears himself past Zilich. Can't do it. Can't get it done. Zilich regroups. 2 laps to go. Out of 1 and then 2 again, gets underneath them. And now this time Mayer goes with the 88, pushes the 88 by. White flag is out, and Connor Zilich has a pretty damn big lead. And the draft is prevalent in this package. It's not prevalent enough for the 88 to be caught. He goes on, wins this race. Zillbillies unite. Dale Jr. fans unite. JRM fans unite. Win 100. And I wanted to talk a little bit about JRM. I get for a lot of people, it probably is beating a dead horse. Totally understand that. But it cannot be understated. They showed the wins list for teams. JR Motorsports has been influential since its founding in the talent development and the discovery of talent in NASCAR. It totally has. What the hell is this afterwards? Oh my God. That is diabolical. Oh, just knowing the NASCAR fan base, putting Jussie Smollett stuff after a NASCAR race, that is diabolical TV planning. I am Sorry, Juicy Smoulier. That is, oh man, that is just the greatest. That is awesome. I guarantee there's some angry people on Facebook that are talking about it and Twitter. That's diabolical. Oh man, that's funny as hell. That's one way to gain social media traffic. Woo, boy! I already know there's gonna be some people cooking on that one. Back to JRM for a second. Man, that's just saying, man. Woo! Oh man, it sounded like Boomhauer there for a second. Just saying, man. But let's get back to JRM here. Looking at JRM, I mean, you look at Brad Keselowski getting up through there, and I know for a while they also had guys they showed like Mark Martin was down there, and Jamie McMurray got a win for him, and you know they had Elliott Sadler and Justin Allgaier, and so like it partially was like the retirement home that team that drivers go down to for like one last hurrah. Regan Smith's another one. But you look at the talent levels that have come through their development of guys like Brad Keselowski, like Chase Elliott, William Byron. You know, and now you look at the likes of Connor Zilic, Alex Bowman got some good starts there. It's a big part of what Junior used to really recommend him to Rick Hendrick. And I'm probably forgetting a bunch of them. There's been so many good drivers that have come through the ranks there. I mean, hell, you can even add Sam Mayer, Noah Gragson, who hasn't really panned out yet, but somebody that a lot of people are like, hey, there's something there. Tyler Reddick, true. Tyler Reddick's another one that's come through there. Again, and there's so much to the talent tree of JRM, and it should be celebrated. A team getting to this stage. You know, you look at the ones that I believe he was up there with, and it was just the best of the best. Some of the best car owners in NASCAR history, and it should be celebrated. These moments don't come around. It's kind of why I was kind of upset with how nonchalant they covered. I think it was like Hendrick's 300th win in Cup. But it's like, no, that's a big deal, man. So things we got to celebrate. And it's the same thing with JRM too. Connor Zilic getting it. I mean, the thing is with JRM, there's like three types of drivers they get there, man. There's really the guys that are there for the money side of it, and we saw like Brandon Jones with that. There's, you know, the old folks home of guys that are just trying to get their last hurrah, can't make it in Cup, but can still compete. And then there's guys that are rising stars. And every now and then you get some people that wash in and out of there. But, you know, Zilic right now looks like that rising star. You know, there's a lot of pay drivers, don't get me wrong, but there's also a lot of rising stars and great talent through there. There's a lot of old guys too, but Zilic is starting to fit right in there, at least on the Xfinity resume side, with some of the best that have went through there. He's got 5 wins on the year, 6 total. You know, I know he's a Trackhouse guy, but that doesn't take away at all from JRM facilitating this talent, getting them through there, and being, again, instrumental to NASCAR development. And I again, the more and more these things happen, which they don't happen often, the more and more I think I feel the need that we need to look at greatness for what it is. And that's the truth. I mean, hell, you look even back to the Chance 2 days of Martin Truex Jr. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is very good at working with the bigger teams for their talent, but also at finding talent too, and also helping grow that talent. And yeah, while Chase Elliott and William Byron are guys that we all knew were going to be going up to Hendrick Motorsports and going to be in Cup, and it, you know, that was not JRM finding them, that was them harnessing that talent, building that up, and moving them along. And the same thing is going on with Connor Zilic. You know, Brad Keselowski, he found. Let's call that too as it is. I mean, this NASCAR today would not be the way it is without JRM. And I think that's some of the highest praise you can give, especially an Xfinity or truck team. I mean, just look at Brad Keselowski racing and the development that went through there too, which I guarantee there were some lessons probably given from Dale Jr. on that side of it. That would not have probably happened to the degree it did without JRM. So, you know, we can focus, and again, we focus a lot on the bad with Hill today and the Almirola deal and all of that. And we can focus on the racing and, you know, not maybe being up to my standards. While I think I'm in the minority on that with a lot of people in there in the chat. But that is something that should be praised. And I hope that people appreciate it as much as I know I do, and as much as a lot of you guys in the chat seem to do, to agree with on it. I I guarantee the next 100 wins are going to come a lot quicker. I'll just say that they're going to come to JRM a lot quicker than the first 100. Um, and hell of a run again for Zilich. The Zillbillies, they're on something. Let me see. They probably mentioned it, but I didn't want the copyright side of it messing up with the CW. But I want to see, since he had his injury, what Connor Zilich's average finish has been. Again, I'm just gonna. He's the Avatar. If you're a fan of Avatar, you know exactly what I'm talking about with it. I mean, Jesus, this is amazing. Second, fifth, win, fourth, second, win. And that's what, 9 races, 2.1 average finish. Yeah, and you guys, okay, so you guys got it first. I was looking in the chat. I love that profile picture, by the way. That's like one of my favorite memes from like last year or two. I absolutely love that profile picture. Yeah, I mean 2.11 technically, it's 111 repeating, and clip that if you will. The 2.1 average finish over 9 races. That's insane. I mean, and on top of that too, right? He's led laps in all of those races, which I'll tally those up really quick. I mean, it's not going to sound as impressive when you look at like others in lower series, like Corey Heim, but 257 laps led. A lot of those races being lower in the amount of laps too. 1, 2, 3 of those races were under 100 laps. Another one was 100 laps. Today's was 100 laps. Like this isn't like he has 500, 400 lap races to do this in. So, I mean, hell of a great run by Connor Zilich. Say what you want about him. Say he's overhyped. Say that we're glazing him. Say whatever. Until he proves me wrong that he's not a great talent, I'm going to keep praising him because he's been freaking awesome. And again, another thing needs to be addressed as a positive, needs to be praised. You don't see that this often. The last time I think we saw a driver put together these types of numbers and runs, and I don't even think he got to this degree on this long a stretch, was probably Ty Gibbs, who I know hasn't panned out in Cup just yet, but I still think is a great talent. So I'm just saying, man, Zillbillies, I get the hype. I get it. Totally get it. But that'll do it for the race. Again, personally, I thought kind of a mid race for the most part, with awesome high and crazy moments and a really fun finish. So I come away positive from the race. I'd probably give the total race probably a 5 out of 10, just because I'm not crazy about the aero package. Before the finish bumps it up to like a 6, 7. I had fun with the race today. The more I think about it, the more fun I had with it, outside, of course, of Hill being Hill. But what you going to do on that one? And we had good finishes too for Ryan Sieg, which Mr. Underdog, Mr. Popular Underdog too. Well, I don't know what more you really could want. Let's go and look at the Super Chat cooldown lap. I've been watching chat, but let's go with the Super Chat cooldown lap. I know a lot of y'all have been waiting. A lot of y'all have opinions you put in there. And I want to get to it here. So Chris McIntyre for the 2 says, hang the banner, 100 wins for JRM. Nice. I mean, that's not even like hang the banner. No, that's like an actual, like, damn, man, hang the banner. That is awesome. That is banner worthy. That is flag worthy. I guarantee Dale Jr. is going to be like that championship flag, carrying that baby all day long. He'll probably carry it into the damn booth tomorrow if he's given the option. Josh Santos for the 46-month member chat says Hill needs an anti-bullying sensitivity training. I don't know, man. After that, he might need a friggin' antipsychotic. Ross Crash Stain for the 2 says, Zillbillies, let's go. Getting silly for the Zilly. I absolutely, I hope Connor Zilich embraces this. like name and all of this. I think it's absolutely funny and great. And Cameron Johnson with the 5 says, I hope NASCAR doesn't buy Austin Hill's BS radio message. He clearly wrecked Eric on purpose. 100% agree. Clearly did. Twin Spinner says, Austin Hill managed to make me hate him even more. I think there's a lot of people that are in your camp right now with that. SW with the 10, Austin Hill needs to be suspended. No ifs or buts about that. It's pathetic of him, especially with his white gloves. It doesn't help his case. He dumped Eric into a non-safer barrier. Yeah, preaching to the choir, but the choir is getting bigger at this point. I'm 100% with you. I mean, hell, man, we're almost 1,000 votes, and the percentage of people saying yes, it was intentional, not changing at all. Bite Speed now brings up what Larson did was inexcusable. Ever since that Verstappen comment or comments, he has fallen off hard and become one of the biggest laughing stocks in motorsports. That's, again, the duality of Kyle Larson is he's either going to do one of the coolest freaking things ever, or he's going to crash trying or cause other people to crash. And I'm kind of with you, man. I mean, a caliber of driver of Kyle Larson, he should not be making those dumb moves. He's been good. Don't get me wrong. Like, falling off for Kyle Larson is still better than probably 90% of the guys out there. It's kind of like when people said Jeff Gordon fell off for a while, and it's like, yeah, the wins weren't there, but then you look and he's like always running top 5 in points for most of the time. Like, he's still really freaking good. I do agree. I think a driver of his caliber should not be making these kind of mistakes. West Virginia says, if you get suspended for a race, and not saying that will happen here, you give up all of your playoff points earned during the regular season. So you'd start the playoffs at 2,000, no playoff points. Bob Pockers. I think they should fine too on that, on top of it. I mean, I think that doing stupid moves like that should be levied to the highest degree of penalty to me. Marky Mark says, I'm exhausted. Bad cold kept me up most of the night. But boy, did I stand up and holler when Hill pulled that move. Suspend his butt. Well, I hope you feel better. And chat, let's get some well wishes over to Marky Mark. I hope that we can maybe wish away a little bit of that cold. I get how it is, man. But yeah, I'm with you. Suspend him. Suspend him. Blorp, I want to embarrass the field. Didn't today. That's for sure. Didn't today. Let's see. Slice Supersonic says, one, Almirola learned that he can't really rattle anyone's cage because nobody's afraid of him. I mean, yeah, it was the most extreme way and the worst way possible, but it really was the F around and find out for Almirola today. 2, Zilich got lucky because Allgaier was eating his lunch. True. But I've said this before. I've said it defending Bowman. I've said it defending some of like Elliott and Bush's wins. Sometimes you need to be good enough to be up there in order to capitalize off of bad luck, in order to take advantage of someone better than you having something happen to them. So yeah, was there a bit of luck involved? 100%. Totally. I mean, had Larson not gotten into Allgaier, one of them probably beats Zilich, but that's not what happened. By the way, I should remind you while I'm thinking about tomorrow at noon start time, Eastern, and 11 Central AM. We'll do the pre-race for the Brickyard, and then we'll do post-race as usual. Probably going to be talking about the Hill stuff. There's probably going to be more stuff to come out about it, more quotes, stuff like that. So that we'll do follow-ups on that. Maybe talk about the Friesen DQ if there's anything that can really be taken there. But again, big races at least this year. Maybe we'll do it for most of all races, Cup-wise next year, pre-race show. So just want to remind you there. So subscribe if you're new. We do it after every race, and I counted last night. We do it after all 97 major NASCAR Top 3 Series events. And I want any of y'all that are new to be around for all of it. I don't care if you agree or disagree with me. The conversation is fun no matter what, and I would love to see you there. Let's keep it on going here. 505 Doom said he pulled a Vegeta. Apologies. I am probably culturally illiterate on what you're talking about. Mark said, yo, Austin Hill, incoming call from Ace Moneymaker. True. Alex said, if they don't suspend him, there is no justice. Yeah, I mean, there's no teeth to NASCAR's rules if they don't suspend him for something that's clearly what that rule was meant for. There'd be no teeth to the rule at all. You have to, highest extent on that. Let's see. Money Joe Films for the 5 said, I was reported and restricted on Twitter for tweeting about Austin Hill. Did anyone else get any reports online? Depends on what you said, because plenty of people were and nothing happened to them. Not saying it's your fault, just saying that it could be. Mark said, Angel Soft side-eyeing Hill's playoff points. Michael Paul with the 15-month member chat, props at 54 and 88 in Mayer for cleanly racing. Yes, it can be done. Props to Gray. I know a lot of people, myself included, were very hesitant on that move this year. But I think he's done better than we thought he would. Still needs to do better in a JGR car, but he's done better than a lot of us thought he would be doing with that ride. So give credit where it's due. He's run for wins multiple times this year. And at this rate, he's probably going to get one at some point. He's been getting better too. Like Dislike says, I'm a Hill fan and I think he should be suspended. Don't care about speed or track. A right hook is a right hook. I'm with you on all of it, man. I mean, I'm not a Hill fan. I'm not a Hill hater. 100% with you on all of it. Blatant as it can be, should be suspended. And I think the rule should be basically you do it anywhere, really, unless it's like 5 miles an hour, coming to the red flag or something. Or even then, caution shouldn't be doing stupid stuff like that. But outside of like extreme circumstances, I'm with you, man. 100% with you. Mark said, NASCAR's about to put Hill in a Mario Party chance time mini game. I think when they suspend drivers like that, they should force them to watch it like from a place the camera can find them at all times. Like, I know it's a lot of times it's the driver or team's election of whether or not to have the driver there. The driver should, I think, buy their own travel, do all that. Probably wouldn't hit too many of them too bad in the pocketbook, but they should be there. They should let them soak in it. Let him soak. Maybe this is me going overboard and being authoritarian on it, but NASCAR needs to wield the big stick hard on this one. Totally. Bobby Blair left 2 here. Austin Hill has all the talent you want in a driver, but just continues to do the stupidest shit possible. This is why he's been stuck in trucks and Xfinity for over a decade. It's hard to disagree at this point. I'm with you, man. I mean, when you do these stupid things, nobody's going to want you in that cup program. It seems like Richard Childress is right with him, but Richard, come on, get on him. I don't think he will. I personally don't. I mean, look how Richard Childress and Richard Childress Racing acted after the Austin Dillon deal last year. That was blatant. It's something about these freaking Austins, man. At some point, I'm just waiting for one of them. That's right. Austin Centric did this in Austin, Texas. Connect the dots. It's like that meme from Always Sunny. Like, that's how I feel right now. Like, oh my God, it all makes sense. Bobby Blair also says Connor Zilich is going to be a star, well-spoken, and beats you on pure talent and skill. As an open wheel fan, IndyCar really missed the boat with this kid. I mean, again, today you can probably put probably a little good amount of the luck, investment on that. But at the same time, he's been really damn good and he has a ton of talent. And I agree with you on that. I mean, he's well-spoken, beats you a lot of the time on that pure talent aspect. And the open wheel side, yeah, they missed out on him. I'm glad that he'll be here. I do think he'll pan out. I'm one of the people that does think he will. I was skeptical before until I could see a sample size. The sample size has been shown. I believe it's only 24 races, and he's won 25% of them. I believe that's how many starts he's had in Xfinity. It's a crazy ass line, and I'm sorry, you don't. I'll double check on it just because I want to be 100% right, but I'm almost certain that's the case. 25, so almost a 25% clip. He's 25% clip because it's in 24 starts. So yeah, you don't get a 25% win percentage without being pretty damn good. And I get, road courses, Pocono, draft, luck, all that. We can keep trying to chip away at it, but eventually, like, we got to call it as it is, man. And I agree with Blue Jimmy, and I saw others of you putting it in there. Yeah, Austin Green totally slept on as well. He's a great talent. Let's see. Andrew Winslow says, going to see Descendants tonight. Go for all. Is that a movie? I've been so out of loop on so much stuff. If there's one thing that parenthood has hit me hard on top of sleep and sanity and everything else, is I do not keep up with like anything going on right now. I've been on the internet probably the least amount that I can remember since I've been on YouTube, which has actually really helped a lot. I've been getting in shape. Oh, it's a band. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Have fun, man. I'm so out of it, but I'm so damn out of it right now. It's probably one that I even know about, and I'm out of it at this rate. But have fun, man. Ryan says, do you think Suarez and Zilich will swap places next year? From the sound of Suarez, he doesn't want it. And this is kind of a point of ego for a lot of drivers, that they, and I've heard this directly from drivers, like talking face to face with drivers, that they do not want to go to the Xfinity, even if they get a JRM, Joe Gibbs Racing style ride. They do not want to be an Xfinity driver because they think they'll never be a Cup driver again. Personally, I can get it on some extent with some drivers, but if you're Daniel Suarez, this is the best opportunity you've had since Joe Gibbs Racing. Jump at it. Like, when you look at pure equipment standpoint, he should jump into whatever is open and the best possible option. And it seems like, I don't know, maybe he'll replace Ty Dillon next year. Although I'm pretty sure Ty Dillon's outrun him a lot this year. So, I'm just saying. Yeah, I would if I were him personally, but I'm also not a driver and I don't make those decisions. So, I see the merit on both sides. Like, if you're able to overachieve in a bad car, like Haley did, for instance, with Rick Ware Racing, then you can level up. But at the same time, if you suck in a car that should be running better, like Corey LaJoie, you're out of a ride waiting for a Cup ride when you could have had really good truck rides, really good Xfinity. I personally think Suarez should take a JRM ride if it's open to him. He has the funding. The equipment would be there. I think he would ball, but that doesn't seem like where he's going right now. We'll find out. Maybe his opinion will change when he finds the market might not be there for him. Let's see. Kayshawn says, Poetic Justice, the 19-year-old gets JRM the 100th win via the 88. Yep. The franchise number that's not really been there the whole time. The franchise number, kind of the embodiment of the JRM legacy of young talent going through there. To me, it was kind of like him or Allgaier was probably the most fitting. I mean, yeah, the 8 with Sammy Smith would have been fitting for the font and all that meant to the Earnhardt name, but that's a DEI thing. That's Dale Earnhardt Incorporated more than, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. more than JR Motorsports. So I think the 88 or the 7 winning would have been the best possible poetic way to have this 100th win come. Chris says, Zilich to Larson, win in my ride, hold my beer. Scott Moody, thank you for the 1. No comment, but I appreciate the 1 either way. I appreciate all the commenters, super chats, non-super chats. I appreciate all of it. And I try my best to get as many of y'all on screen as possible too. But either way, I apologize. Kayshawn says, don't forget Connor was supposed to be an F1 driver. I know the kid is young and has Red Bull support, but this kid could be legendary internationally. Yeah, I remember hearing a bit about that. They was thinking that. I mean, talent-wise, I think he could probably do anything if he has enough seat time. But I don't want to get too much into the weeds, because then we had the similar conversation about Larson and Verstappen, and since then hasn't been good. Like Dislike says, why is there any spot on track without a soft wall? That's a good question. I know Indianapolis isn't really NASCAR centered. But I would think you would put it there. It's all of it. And a lot of tracks have been good at putting them all over. Scott Moody here does leave a comment with the 2 saying Park Hill for 5 races and put him on probation. I think it's overkill based on the writing of the rule. They put a rule in place. Now it's up to NASCAR to enforce that rule, and it should be enforced. I think I've made myself abundantly clear. It should be enforced heavily. If they just stick with the 5-lap penalty, or they do a 50-point penalty and maybe some playoff points taken away, I'm sorry, there's no teeth to the rule, and they're setting a horrible precedent with that. They've set the precedent before of having this kind of deal, this exact kind of incident, have major ramifications. They should be done. No ifs, ands, buts, ors, any of it. I don't care. Like, this is time to go old school authoritarian NASCAR verdict on them. Twin Spinner said, if I had a nickel, I think he meant if I had a nickel for every NASCAR driver named Austin that right rear hooked a driver in the last year, I'd have 3 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's more than even the normal meme. So it's concerning. Something about the Austins, man. Money Joe Film said, I said if I was Almirola, I would kick his ass if NASCAR didn't do anything about it. Yeah, totally. Take justice into your own hands. You're a part-time driver. What do they do? Suspend you one of the races you were supposed to be in? Okay, I'll just, go to Aruba with my family. Oh, man. I love NASCAR. I love NASCAR. I've been going almost an hour. I could probably talk for an hour more and probably have more stuff to talk about even after that. So I appreciate y'all coming in. Tons of stuff happening. Subscribe to the channel. Of course, we do this after every race. We'll be live before and after the Brickyard 400 tomorrow. The before will be at noon Eastern time, 11 Central a.m. Again, 11 a.m. Central, 10 Mountain, 9 Pacific. I'm fuzzy with the rest of the time zones, and live after will be NWP. We're going to talk a lot more in depth about this because I have a feeling the verdict will be out about this. We will talk more about this Wednesday night on Eric's channel, top of so much other stuff. There's going to be a lot to talk about. And yeah, hey, chat, good on y'all. Two for 2 so far. You're going to need Ryan Blaney to pull through tomorrow. So, knowing him, he's either going to run for the win or DNF. So, hey, good for you. I got sweep last week. I think Danny got it. Or was it Eric? No, Eric, I think, got it the week before. Maybe it was you guys. Can't remember. There's 2 sweep weekends in a row. Maybe we'll make it 3. Who knows? But I appreciate all of you guys being in here. Enjoy your Saturday night. Have a great time tonight on whatever you're doing. And I will see all of you hopefully tomorrow, twice, and through the week. So till then, have a good one. Later, y'all.